Hello and welcome to my Endless Runner Devlog Part 2. Last time I had came up with an idea and tried to make some kind of bare bones game that had gravity implementation and a very simplified map generation system. And for today, I am going to be looking to kind of revamp that map generation system as well as add some obstacles and maybe come up with some kind of energy system. So let's get to it. What I have currently is a ball, and as the ball goes from left to right, it will generate the map as it goes. Though there are plenty of other things to work on, for some reason I really wanted the ball to have a trail. So Unity has a very convenient component called the trail renderer. You can simply attach it to your player object, and as it moves, it will make a neat little trail. Not the most amazing thing, but looks a little less boring while I work on it. Now I kind of wanted to make a simple starting platform just as a placeholder until I make a more legit starting platform. So I put together some scaled up cubes, put a button on the canvas UI to actually start the game, and left it at that. I also collected all the main variables like the vertical gravity, start impulse and stuff, and put them onto their own script so that I could easily access and change them whenever I need to. So currently for my map generation system, I have it set to spawn a section of the map far down the path after passing through an invisible object trigger. What I want to do is spawn some sort of obstacle within those bounds along with the map. This way, there would be an obstacle for each section, making it kind of a unique run each time you press play. This in itself was actually pretty simple to implement, as I just made a prefab of an object set to instantiate along with the map. So far, this is what it currently looks like. Also, I wanted to have some obstacles be on the ceiling and some be on the ground, so what I ended up doing was making a separate script to handle gravity. So ultimately I can just drag the script onto any object and gravity will apply with no extra code needed. As a result, this is what it looks like. Going along with the core gameplay, I wanted to implement some sort of energy system, where as you progress through the map, you will lose energy, and then when you run out of energy, then game over. Periodically, an energy coin would spawn in, so if you can manage to grab this coin, your energy bar will fill up to some extent. With the current implementation of the obstacle spawning system, it would just spawn in along with every map piece, and I guess with the idea of spawning the energy coin in mind, when I got a specific distance, it would spawn an energy coin along with the obstacle. Giving it some thought, I had realized that there are two main problems with this. I could spawn the obstacle, then use a function to spawn the coin, but then I would have to not spawn the coin within the obstacle. Sure, I could write a condition where if the coin is inside the collider of the obstacle, then it would shift or find a different spot to spawn. This isn't such a big deal now, however, this is a problem because if I ever decided to want to spawn more things, I would follow the same pattern. Then it would result in a small space cramped with several objects. Problem number 2 is, for the obstacle spawning function, I would write effectively a child function for the energy coin that would spawn accordingly. Again, this isn't a huge deal now, but when I come around to wanting to spawn more things, I would have to write more and more functions specific to each type of obstacle or energy or collectible, and then it would just become one big mess. So I decided to revamp the current map generation system. With some good time to think about it, I had finally come up with what seemed like a great idea to me. Of course, I'm not some coding magician, but at the moment, this really seemed like the best plan. Firstly, each section of map will spawn, and this will always be the case. Using my recently acquired knowledge of queues, I had thought that it would be a great idea to spawn objects through a queue. So what would happen is the spawnables like the obstacles and the energy coin will queue up, and just like a queue in real life, whatever first comes into the queue, that will be the first to go. So if the objects queue up as obstacle, 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 energy coin, and then obstacle, it will spawn in that exact order. This way, there will be no clutter of game objects on top of one another, and I could effectively write one script to handle all, or at least most, of spawnable objects. Now, the way that the map generation script knows what to queue up next also took a bit for me to come up with, but I think I got a good system working. So I currently have the main map generation object with the map generation script component on it. I then created a child object which holds a script for spawning the object. Within the object spawning script, I have a number that increments every time the object spawns. It will be like this for all spawnable objects/obstacles. I then created another child object, so now I have the parent as the obstacle and the child as their energy coin. While the obstacle queues up and spawns, it will increment that number, and each time the child object will check that number. When it is time to spawn, more specifically, when the parent's object's number matches the child's object's target spawn number, the child object will then queue up along with the parent object. This way, I can basically load up multiple child objects under one another and it will queue up and spawn quite easily without any conflicts. And with all that finally implemented, this is what it looks like.